We're in the second half of Artist on Art. You are listening to KZSC Santa Cruz. I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with Trevor Tarin. Trevor is a hat maker. Is there a special word for it?
Hatter is a good word for it. And I do all manner of leather work. I do festival belts, hats, other sorts of festival accessories too.
And they are so beautiful, folks. He's wearing one of his hats right now. It's a black leather bowler type hat, would you call it?
Yeah, it's like maybe in between a bowler and a top hat.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of both. And it has a beautiful leather braided... was that what that is? Is that braided? And then feathers and a gold clasp. And you'll be able to see it on Artist on Art here very shortly. I'll have it up on the artistonart.com website. I videotape these interviews. But Trevor also has his own website, subverseindustries.com. Subverseindustries.com, where you can, it's a shop also. You can not only look at these beautiful things, but also buy them, purchase them. Trevor, you're here in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and
downtown.
Would you say maybe your aesthetic would be over in the steampunk arena?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. That's one of the influences that informs our work is steampunk community. Okay,
so I'm listening, and I've never heard of steampunk. What? How do you describe steampunk?
Yeah, that is kind of the question. Steampunk is a lot of things, but primarily it's sort of a re-envisioning of the present and future through the lens of like Victorian fashion, aesthetic, and various like modalities and stuff. And a big thing is what the world would look like without a lot of modern conveniences like electronics, and everything's very clockwork, a lot of brass, chunky. Computers may still exist, but they would be entirely different from how we know them. They would be like big mechanical contraptions, stuff like that.
So maybe the world without plastic?
Sure, yeah, I think that's a smart way of thinking about it.
I think of steampunk also being very influenced by Jules Verne, the author at the turn of the century who wrote 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea and really envisioned a future, started science fiction literature possibly. And
absolutely, yeah, there's absolutely a lot of Vernean influences on the steampunk culture and aesthetic.
And you are helping with the Edwardian Ball.
Yeah, so Subverse is going to be vending alongside a bunch of fabulous craftspeople at Edwardian Ball this year. It'll be our second year with Subverse at the Edwardian Ball, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And this is what you call a vendor bazaar?
Yeah, exactly. They've curated at the people at Edwardian Ball have curated a really fantastic group of world-class manufacturers, makers, artists, and they bring some truly impressive stuff. It's a bazaar that you'll find.
Is it bizarre?
Bizarre, yeah, bizarre.
The bazaar.
Right, yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, and so they've been doing this 15 years, folks. This Edwardian Ball has been happening in San Francisco. Pretty much the only thing that's available is sold out. It's sad, but there's something happening on Saturday, which you can still get tickets for, but unfortunately you can't buy the Friday and Saturday mixed tickets. The 2-day, it's sold out. And then there's that's what it is. The Edwardian World's Fair is still available.
Yeah, so there's two nights of the Edwardian Ball, and the first night is the World's Fair, and they have a special selection of like really fun, interesting like midway games and activities. It's a little bit more raucous on that night. And then Saturday night is the actual ball, and the ball is a little bit more glitzy, a little more glamorous, and more dance oriented. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so I've never been to the Edwardian Ball, even though I've really wanted to go every time I see the advertisements, because the aesthetic is very attractive to me. Tell us what it's like. I'm assuming you've been.
Yeah, I love going to the Edwardian Ball. It's so the Edwardian Ball is Edward Gorey is where they take that from, and there's the various works of Edward Gorey, and it's also Edwardian, the time period sort of influenced. So there's a lot of, it's sort of like a costume ball, and there's a lot of people dressed to the nines, really fantastic outfits. People really prepare pretty heavily for this ball. It's sort of an institution in San Francisco these days.
Yeah, and like I said, it's been going on for 15 years. It's an institution that's been growing and just really developing, and it's beautiful. And where's it going to be?
So it's at the Regency Ballroom, which is a fabulous venue, especially the upstairs. They've got this like atrium or something, and it's really decked out with these beautiful chandeliers. The lighting is phenomenal, and it's sort of a really magical setting to have a really fantastic weekend.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and the reason we're having a quick break is because I got some tickets to give away.
Yes.
We've got tickets to a performing arts facility. It's Monterey, the Monterey Peninsula's premiere. It's Mavis Staples, happening Saturday, January 18th at 3 p.m. I have a pair of tickets to give away for Mavis Staples, happening at the Performing Arts Facility in Monterey. That's happening this Saturday at 3... Wait, that's the wrong date. Hold on. This Saturday is January 17th, I believe. Yes. No, is it Friday's January 17th? I'm all confused, folks.
Friday's the 16th.
Yeah, so I am right. Saturday, January 17th at 3 p.m. If you want to see Mavis Staples, please give us a call here at 831-459-4036. But first, you got to tell us, what does Trevor Tavis, what is his medium? That is, what does he make his art out of? And I'll be back in a second, folks. Thanks. And we're back. Yeah, that was it, folks. We want to say thank you to Lori, who got the tickets to see Mavis Staples. Mavis has been a staple in American rock and roll for 6 decades. So she must have started when she was a baby. Anyways, I got Travis is here. Trevor Tarin is a local artist who uses leather for his art making. He makes beautiful hats, belts. You're wearing a leather, beautiful leather thing. I don't even know what to call these accessories. You probably have names for it all, huh?
Sure, yeah. It's like a bolo tie.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's sort of, variation on a bolo tie. But
And what else do you make? Purses. I saw a beautiful purse.
Yeah, exactly. You guys on the radio won't be able to see, but I've got here one of my leather festival belts. This one's called a stash sash, and it's a really functional single pocket design here with like a leather flap closure and a zipper, and it comes with a long like fabric sash that you tie around your waist, and it is designed for basically a purse or bag replacement when you go out to festivals. You stick your phone, your wallet, whatever else you need in there, and the whole thing stays really securely on your hip, and you can dance hands-free and run around and play and have a good time at festivals.
So, Trevor, this belt bag was made for extreme boogieing, I can tell. This is something that's not going to fall off of you. Now, it has an amazing cutout of the leather. Your leather work is phenomenal. It has brass tabs on it, would you call it, and brass rings, and then there's an extraordinary stone in the middle of the flap. What is that?
Yeah, so my good friend Jonathan Sywell, he blows these really amazing crystal-included glasses, and this is a half marble, and he's also a local, and he does some really amazing work for us, and he will be at the Gem and Jam with some of his work this upcoming weekend, I believe, or 2 weekends in Arizona, and a lot of his crystals that he includes in his glass are UV reflective, and they're very fun.
It's so beautiful. Again, folks, you'll be able to see it on Artist on Art. But then why not just go to the source as well? You can go to Trevor's website, which is subverseindustries.com. Subverse is mostly selling their wares online, but you also get to go out, and one of the places you'll be selling is at the Edwardian Ball and at the World's Fair that's happening this weekend. Also, it's happening in Los Angeles, February 14th. If you can't make it to San Francisco, and also because it is kind of sold out, not completely, but it's pretty well sold out.
Absolutely.
So anyways, you may not be able to go to the ball, but you can go to the World's Fair, and then you'll be able to go to the ball if you want to make it down to LA. And all of this can be found at edwardianball.com, is where you can see all the other vendors that Trevor will be joining with his Subverse Industries. And Tell us more about Subverse Industries. How long have you been in business?
So we're coming up on 2 years here for Subverse that we've been making here in Santa Cruz, and it's been quite a roller coaster. Starting a business like this is a lot of work and a lot of fun, and we have a great time doing it.
Okay, so I want to talk more about these extraordinary hats and these other wearable art pieces, basically, is what you're making. For instance, the hat that you're wearing right now, this bowler top hat, has an amazing buckle hat pin, with a feather coming out of it. Did you also make the because there's also, it looks like a glass bead in it?
Right, yeah, I'm glad you asked. So Subverse started out making bags and hats out of leather, and that's sort of our forte is this sort of festival fashion. And recently we've been lucky enough to join a very talented person, Tora Engel, who is of Black Iris Creations. She does really amazing fascinators, headpieces, and like hair clips and stuff. And our work together has come to this like new level of what I consider to be pretty amazing. And so we work with her directly to figure out colors and particular feather arrangements and ways that we can create really unique pieces, hats and belts and stuff. And
unique is just, I mean, that's like the least of the beauty that these things, not only are they unique and one of a kind, but again, for my aesthetic, very pleasing. The pin has these extraordinary flourishes in it that would remind me of King Louis, the last of the kings in France. So it's got a very, not rococo, but I mean, it would take us a while to really kind of categorize the many artistic influences that go into steampunk in general, and then your work.
Yeah, to be sure. And our work, I like to think, sort of transcends the realm of steampunk, and it's definitely, there's fantasy elements. It's very elegant, I'd like to think.
Oh yeah.
And it's some special stuff. You won't see it really anywhere.
And so you also brought a similar hat, although this hat is brown with a lighter brown that goes around the head brim. I don't know the technical terms for these.
Yeah, so this hat has got like a what would I'd call that, maybe like an acorn, I think I would say.
Acorn color.
And it's like an deep oxblood burgundy, and it fades to black at the top.
Right, so the brim is more light, but still very dark. And it has an extraordinary hairpin in it with a feather arrangement, and an extraordinary, is that amber in the middle? And do you use laser cutters?
It's like a simulated amber piece there. Yeah, and we do. We start all of our designs on the drawing pad, and then we translate those to computer designs, and then we use our laser cutter to cut out the different pieces, and then we actually hand sew our hats. So there's almost 600 individual stitches in this hat, so it's quite meticulous, but it allows us to achieve what I think is like the most perfect leather hat that you could possibly imagine, simply because every stitch is exactly in place, and everything's just so.
And then it's by the same artist that made the hat pin that's on.
That's right. Yeah.
What's her name again?
Her name's Tora Engel, and she'll be touring with us all summer. We're going to be doing a number of festivals, a lot of the big music festivals that are around the country, and indeed actually around the continent. We'll be showing at these various festivals. We also sell at a number of retailers. One of the biggest ones is Distractions on Hate, and they carry both Subverse and Black Iris pieces, and it's a really fun place to go prepare for the ball if you need to stop in and grab a few outfit pieces. That place is in the Upper Haight, and it's a super fun experience. You can find hats, vests, corsets, coats, everything you need.
Is there anywhere in town?
Absolutely.
Where can I go?
So Go Ask Alice is a fantastic store. Right. They're across the street from the Del Mar.
Pacific Avenue.
Yeah, precisely.
They used to be around the corner, but now they're on Pacific.
That's right. Yeah, and it's a fantastic store. A lot of people don't realize that there's such a fantastic festival fashion and generally fancy fashion store in Santa Cruz. But
there it is, folks. You heard it here. Trevor Tarin, thank you so much for coming on Artists on Art and bringing your beautiful, beautiful wearable arts pieces. I wish you great sales, and I hope I get to own one of these pieces one day in my life.
It's my pleasure,
so
Nada. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening, and please stay tuned for Shamrock. Have a great day, everybody, and enjoy. Oh, I want to thank Vanya Benavides for live tweeting, Emma Lynn for coming into the show, and my other guests, Doug Ross and Matthew Swinnerton. Next week, Tandy Beal will be on again. Can't wait. Have fun.